Greetings and welcome to Pickled Watermelon Rinds, a guilty pleasure podcast featuring Auntie Joan and Ontie, providing our zesty and marginally mature take on current events, pop culture, and trends. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello, Auntie Joan.
Hello, Auntie.
How are you?
I'm doing great. We
Well,
got beautiful weather down here in Boulder, Colorado.
Oh?
Yeah.
What's the
Oh.
temperature?
Oh, now it's 82, which is lovely for the 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
I'll drink to that.
I am drinking to that.
I know you are.
I know. I didn't tell Auntie Joan that I was coming with cocktail in hand today, but I did. I'm doing a little red, white, and blue. Same cocktail as she had for our 20th episode, the Dingle Gin with a little elderflower tonic. But I put in raspberries and blackberries, hence red, white, blue.
Yeah, you've got a reddish tint there to it.
That's because I use frozen berries. Had I used fresh,
Oh.
you really would have been able to see the red, white, and blue a little bit better. But the ice cubes still make it white, so it helps.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
It helps. Yes, it was quite a lovely day this morning as well up here. It was mid to high 60s. Then it got into the 70s. So I went outside and did some yard work, which I hate with an almighty passion.
Yeah.
But I did it. Now I won't touch it for another week or so.
Oh, wow. You do it that soon?
Well, I'm not done. That's the thing.
Oh.
I'm not done. Still more weed whacking to be done. Not a lot of more weeds to pull unless whatever comes up over the next week that I've got to deal with. But some more weed whacking. Not a ton. I've made some pretty decent progress. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah,
So,
you need to get some critters up there to eat them weeds for you. But goats and turkeys.
hopefully the wild turkeys will come back.
I know.
I don't expect goats, but you just
Well,
never
you can
know.
get some.
No, then you have to
Yeah,
tend to them.
Well, and plus that they'd be food for the mountain lions and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But two moose came by just before I came
Oh my
upstairs to
gosh!
record. Yes.
Ah.
Youngsters. Two
Yeah?
youngsters. I was looking for the mama. I didn't see her anywhere, so they must be freshly kicked out of the nest, as they say.
Speaking of which, speaking of being kicked out of the nest,
Yes?
the nest is empty now.
Good.
They flew the nest yesterday. I went out to bring in the trash bin and get the mail, and here's this robin, big robin, just sitting up there in the nest staring at me, and it had this beautiful, beautiful speckled chest.
Oh.
And I thought, wow, that's really beautiful. I went in and I, of course, Googled it, and that's a juvenile. They said it was a juvenile robin.
I see.
And then one of them flew out into the street, and I thought, oh my gosh, please don't get run over. I was tempted almost to go out there and shoo it back, but it finally hopped back onto the grass. So it survived that, but we'll see. Yeah.
Natural
But they're
selection,
gone, so-
Auntie Joan.
Huh?
Natural selection.
So I got to
Giving me
get
dirty
my
looks.
ass in gear and get the front porch hose down before the next brood comes back.
Yikes. Yeah, they shit everywhere, don't they?
No, they're pretty good. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple spots, but no. It's just I haven't cleaned it since last autumn. So there's that layer of dust and dirt and stuff that needs to,
Gotcha.
So next time you come down, we can sit on the porch and have a cocktail.
Lovely. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So happy 4th to you, Auntie Joni.
Same to you,
Why, thank you.
Auntie.
So what you been doing over the past week?
Not a whole heck of a lot. I did finally get my tomato plants into the buckets.
Into the buckets.
So hopefully I'll get some tomatoes this year. Oh, I also planted a pepper plant.
Just one pepper?
Just one pepper
One
plant.
pickled pepper
No.
for pickled watermelon rinds.
That's
Funny.
about it. I mean, not much else. Oh, I saw the eye doctor and, everything looks fine. And so, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Here.
And what's going on with you?
Last Saturday, a couple months ago, I saw over the Facebook that there was this thing called Oz Escape. And I said, "What's this?" So I read a little blurb about it and saw people saying how wonderful it was and that it was coming
Really?
to Denver. And I said, okay, well, my friend, Auntie Joan's cousin, her husband is very into the Wizard of Oz. He does a lot of collecting, lots of collectibles. They have an entire bedroom dedicated to the Wizard of Oz collectibles. So he is a Wizard of Oz aficionado. And I said, well, he might want to do this. So I reached out to Auntie Mary and said, what do you think? You think you guys want to do this? And she said, sure. So we got Auntie Mary's sister-in-law and a friend of hers involved, and we became a team. And we were going to go on what I assumed would be scavenger hunt like. It couldn't be an escape room because I knew it was going to be all outdoors. I'm just going to cut to the chase here now. It was terrible, people.
Oh my gosh.
Just awful. Everything was done
sorry.
over your phone using the Quest. It's Questo, but I call it Quest No. Because it was bad. Their app. They had us walking around downtown Cherry Creek, and they had us going to destinations, and 90% of the time the destination that they took us to had absolutely nothing to do with the clue. They were just having us walk around downtown for some reason. Then there was only one. Now, we did bag this early, folks, because that's how bad it was. In the time that we played, there was only one single question that actually had to do with the Wizard of Oz. It was
Really?
completely misrepresented. Poor people had dressed up. We did not. People had come to this event dressed up in Wizard of Oz gear and, as the different characters from the movie. And it had so little to do with the Wizard of Oz. It was just very misleading, very disappointing. So we bagged it early and went and ate because, can't go without food. So we went to True Foods, which was quite delicious in Cherry Creek. Apparently it's a chain, which I didn't know. Quite nice. And it was a lovely little get together. So it was good seeing folks. Auntie Mary ended up not partaking, and she made the right call for sure not to partake in it because it was pretty bad. Still good seeing everybody, and the lunch was good. So day was not, and it was great weather. It was overcast. I don't think it got above 70 degrees the entire time we did it when we were walking around outside. So it never
Really?
got hot at all. No, it was fantastic. It was beautiful weather as far as I was concerned. To be down there and to be outside and walking around, it was lovely.
Yeah. Because it had been in the 90s that week before that.
Yeah.
High 90s some
Yeah.
days. Yeah.
I think it got up to the 80s later in the day, but we finished just before noon, or we stopped, I should say, just before noon to go have lunch, and we had lunch inside. When I left that area around 1 o'clock, it was starting to heat up, so I was happy to scooch on out and head back up to my higher elevation at the cooler temperatures. But yeah, so if anybody sees the Oz Escape from Questo, again, I call it Quest No, come through your Facebook and think that might be fun, it's not. Don't do it.
I wonder who the people were that came up with those questions. Did you see many people participating?
Quite a few, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was quite an event.
Did you keep running into them along the way?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's
And even
the
when we were
fun part. Yeah.
right. And then even when we were sitting having lunch, my back was to the window, but a couple of the folks were looking out the window and they kept seeing groups of people going by, some that were dressed up so you just knew that they were part of it. And we just felt bad for them because we're like, it wasn't good.
So how did it work doing all the stuff through the phone?
Oh, it was terrible. You couldn't make anything bigger on the phone. You couldn't enlarge anything. And I purposely didn't bring my reading glasses because I said, well, it's going to be on the app. I'll just make the app,
Mm-hmm.
make whatever it is bigger and I'll be able to see it. You couldn't. The app would not let you do it. And we
Oh
had
my
2
gosh.
Apple phones and 2 Droid phones, and none of us could make the images any larger than what was on the screen. So I couldn't see anything. It was just not good,
Wow.
folks. It was
Wow.
cheap. It was $40 per team, and you could have a team of 6. So it was a very inexpensive thing to do. Had it been $40 a person, man, I'd be pretty pissed off.
Oh yeah, big time.
But considering wasn't that expensive, like I said, the weather was good, and the company that I had was wonderful. It was just unfortunate that the event itself sucked.
Well, that's too bad. That's too bad.
Oh well, live and learn.
Yeah, well, $40 for a team of 6, but then you have to take into account probably $50 just to drive down there and back up again.
No, it's only an hour, Auntie Joan. That doesn't cost no $50. You're silly. And I didn't mind, honestly. I didn't have traffic coming down. It was a little windy
Mm.
through Denver to get back to the road I knew. So I really didn't know where I was, and that was a little congested, but not terribly. I wouldn't really call it traffic. It was just people were out.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
1:00 in the
yeah.
afternoon on a Saturday. When I came down in the morning, certainly less people on the road, so it wasn't a big deal. And then
Well,
I wanted to bring up last time the whole farmers market and how much these things cost at these farmers markets these days. I'm
mm.
not a fan.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they've always been high, expensive, high. But then you do, I suppose, get fresh produce and stuff like
True.
that.
But yeah, I mean, I can't even remember. The mushrooms I got, I thought were reasonable because they were wild mushrooms and it was a
Mm.
small box, assorted box of mushrooms. So I think there was like 4 different kinds in there.
Are you sure they were all safe to eat?
Yes. Yes,
Are
I
you
am.
sure?
Yes, I am. So that was $7, which is on the higher side for sure. But at the same time, price mushrooms in the grocery store, wild mushrooms, they're pretty expensive. So I was like,
Mm.
okay, that one was fairly reasonable. But I can't even remember what I got. Oh, it was this little tiny head of red cabbage. And I just happened to see it. And I was like, oh, I already had green cabbage at home. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get that. That's perfect. That's a perfect amount. I don't need a ton of cabbage. It was just really for color for salads I was going to
Like the
make.
size of a softball or a little bigger
Maybe a
than that?
smidge bigger than that. Maybe a smidge bigger than that. So I was like, maybe the size like 2 softballs stuck together kind of
Mm.
thing.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, that's a nice small size. So I was like, perfect. It was $4.21, folks. I could have
Mm.
gotten a head of red cabbage in the grocery store bigger for less. And it being organic for less.
Oh,
Cabbage,
organic too?
well, that's what really the farmers markets bring to bear is they
Oh,
typically
I
bring
wouldn't count on that.
organic produce.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't count on that.
Yeah, they usually do. That's why they're there, kind of thing. Anyway, so in the grocery store, it would be so much less. Now, like you said, it's fresher, whatever. That's fine. But it was also $4.21. Who the hell is bringing exact change to a farmer's market? Round that shit down or up. I don't
Yeah,
care which
yeah,
way you
yeah.
go, but you stop it. I was like, I get that you have to charge tax. I totally understand that. So if it costs you as the farmer $3, then just round up to $4. You know what I
Mhm,
mean?
mhm.
Like, don't the 21 cents, because I was, of course, paying cash. You could have used a card, so that would have made it a little bit easier had I had a card. But I'm
Could I
like,
write a check?
you probably could have written a check. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But I'm just like, who does that? Now, this was one particular booth at a pretty small farmer's market up in Netherland. But at the same time, it was also the booth that had the most produce there.
Mm,
So everybody's
mm.
kind of gravitating towards it. But their prices were astronomical. I buy cabbage all the time, folks. I love cabbage. I have fresh cabbage in the house all the time. And it takes long for it to go bad. I mean, I eat it usually before it goes bad, but you know what I mean? It's got a good shelf life.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
the fact that they were charging $4.21 for this tiny little head, a red cabbage. I'm like, again, in the grocery store, that probably maybe would have cost $2. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
probably even less. Cabbage is so cheap. That's another reason why I like it. I'm gravitating towards that more than even getting the lettuces at this point because
Oh, yeah, I really like cabbage too.
it's just so inexpensive and it's so versatile. You can have a cold, you can have a hot, you can, whatever. So I really like it. But yeah, I almost fell over. I'm like, you know what? But then I went to our little farm stand near your house and I got a decent sized bag of spring mix lettuce. Now it was $6, but again, I almost thought it was worth it because it had the different types of, lettuces in there that I didn't have to deal with. It was good size. Could I have gotten it a little bit less in the grocery store? Probably. But was it that big of a difference that I'm just like, oh my God. Like if they charged $10, I'd be like, that was too much for that lettuce. But $6, I was okay with that. I have to say.
And that is definitely organic there.
Yes. Organic, fresh, and that,
Yeah.
mixed last. I still have some. It's so good. So that's an actual farm stand. It's not at a farmer's market. So I don't know if they're adding in their transportation time and whatever the hell else they're doing, but these farmers markets, I'm not seeing the deals, folks.
Yeah, I just remember going to the ones in Boulder and then the one in Longmont and just being surprised at the prices at those. And my folks, they have it like a gentleman's farm after my dad retired. And then my oldest brother took it over and it was a side job, side business thing. A lot of times they would take their produce and stuff to the farm stand in town, a small town. They also would sell right at the farm too.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they would have beautiful produce. Oh my gosh.
I
Oh,
bet.
and gladiolas. Oh, my dad planted the best gladiolas.
Auntie Joan and I are suckers for the gladiolas, folks.
Yeah, we're glad girls.
We sure are.
That'll have to be one of our monikers.
That's
the Glad
right.
Girls.
The Glad Girls. I think if anybody's looking to get us gifts.
Uh-huh. The more glads, the better.
We love them. We love them very, very much.
Yeah. They're strong.
Like us.
Yes. They're tall.
Like us.
Me.
Well, like
you.
Us. Like you mostly.
And they keep giving and giving and giving.
Not me.
Not like me. You do, Auntie.
No,
you do
I
give
don't.
a lot.
No,
Yes, you
I
do.
don't.
Yes, you do. You're very generous.
You do too.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm on a limited income. I'm on the government dole.
But you give in different ways. You watch The Beast for free. Yes, that's right, folks. I get free pet sitting. Auntie Joan takes in The Beast for $0.
But you pay for it in other ways.
I do?
Uka.
Ah, the Uka. Uka.
Yeah, usually anytime we go out to eat.
It's the least I can do. I don't think you know how much people are charging for pet sitting these days.
I do know. I've looked it up.
Oh my God.
Because I thought about maybe I ought to look into
charge
this.
me
It's a
now,
part-time
folks.
job.
Damn it.
No, not for him. Opening up to strangers.
Oh, really?
And then I've got the grand dogs coming the end of this month, so that's gonna. I can't wait to try out the new little pool with them, with the little waterfall thing, the little squirt things.
Well, don't forget, Beast is coming on the 12th.
I know.
One night.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Week from tomorrow.
Because somebody gets to go see Billy Joel.
Billy Joel, folks. That's right. At Coors Field. Exciting.
Should be good, I hope.
I hope.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And then you wanted to chat about get your memories while you can.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, on a more serious note.
Bring it down, everybody. Bring it down.
Yeah. Gonna preach here.
Preach, sister. Preach.
It's sister.
Sister.
So one day I'm thinking, it's really neat that we're doing this podcast because we have recordings of us, our thoughts, what we're doing.
Good, bad, and ugly.
And it's just really, I don't know, it's kind of neat to have a record of where you were,
Mm-hmm.
where you are and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought, it's kind of sad that, not in a bad way, but, it's kind of sad that we don't have offspring, children that maybe might benefit from this. And then I started thinking the only voice thing that I have of Larry, who this month it's 5 years he's been gone. The only memory I have audio wise is this one little video of him with the grandgirls playing with the ball and just kind of making a noise, like, oops, I got it, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. And I thought, it would just be so nice to be able to hear his voice again, to,
Yeah.
I don't know, get just a little memory of where he was and stuff like that. And then I think I'd love to hear my parents' voice again.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Bill, and I'd like to hear him too, but
Mm-hmm.
there's just nothing. I have nothing but, other memories. So I just can't help but think that if you've got kids, try to do something
Yeah.
so they'll have like a audio type memory of you.
Right.
Explain, I mean, as much as my dad and I differed on politics, I would really like to hear where his mind was when he came up with those ideas. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. And yeah, folks, you can use something like OBS Studio, which is what we use to record. It actually records audio and video if we so choose. We don't
Really?
we don't do video.
Really?
Yes, but it does record both. And then using Audacity to edit if you feel it needs to be edited in any way. Now, if you're using video and audio, a recording from OBS, I'm not sure you can edit both in Audacity. I know you could do the audio side in Audacity. I don't know video. You'd have to use a different tool like Reaper, or I can't think of another one off the top of my head, but there's lots out there. These are all freeware, folks. So like what Auntie Joan is saying, you have opportunities to leave video messages for folks or whatever. You can do that all with free tools. So, and again, the ones we use, OBS Studios, which we just record audio, but it also has a capability of recording video, and Audacity is what we use to edit. So
Oh, wow.
we can easily do that.
There's no excuse.
There's no
There's no
excuse.
excuse.
There really isn't. But I just don't think people know it's out there. Like they think this
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
for podcasting or
Mm-hmm.
making music videos or whatever, music audio tracks, whatever. But no, you can use it for anything you'd like. And like I said, it's all free.
Yeah, I don't know how young people are these days about I know they say like
Well,
kids
their whole
don't
lives are online. They do
well
everything.
that, yeah, but as far as their parents' stuff, like you can't give away China anymore.
Right.
Kids don't want China. They don't want photos in a lot of cases. They just don't want the baggage that goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but think at some point in their life they're going to want to know things.
Yeah.
And if you can put in some memories that you had of the kids like when they were little and stuff like that, I think those things would just be priceless.
Right.
My opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
I like it. Yeah. The only audio I have of my mother is the outgoing message from their answering machine. I
Oh.
recorded that just before I disconnected everything. And then my dad, actually, because of his Corvette, he did an article with some guy from some newspaper, and they actually did a video of him. And
Oh,
my cousin
wow.
actually has a video of my father and him driving on a racetrack in the Corvette, and my cousin was recording. You don't see my father at all. He's just basically showing them drive the outward view of them from the car to the track. But you can hear my father's voice in the background
Nice.
talking and and all
Nice.
that. So, but yeah, the only audio of my mother is an answering machine outgoing
wow.
message.
Wow.
My brother and sister-in-law took videos back in the day when the kids were really young and stuff like that. Where those are today, I could not tell you. So I think there may be more, but in my possession, all I have of my mother is the outgoing voicemail message.
Do you know what format those videos
I
were
have no
done on?
idea. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't. It was early. It was not one of those big honkin' VHS camcorder things. It was definitely more digitized. But what the output was, I couldn't tell you.
You got to have your brother send copies of those to you.
If he still even has them. I don't have
Oh
any
my gosh,
idea.
I hope so.
I have no idea.
One of my brothers, Jim, he got a movie camera for his high school graduation. So that summer, when we had nowhere to go because we were in a housing development out in the middle of nowhere, that's what we did. We took movies. We made movies. So he had a whole bunch of little movie reels. So I had him send those to me, and I had Mike's camera, put them all on VHS. Back when that's the
Right.
new format. And then once they went to DVD, then I had them convert it to DVD too. So we've all got those, but those had no audio on them. They were all silence.
Silent
But
movies,
yes.
like Charlie Chaplin.
And I guess it was 4 years ago when we went up to bury my younger brother, we all got together and watched the DVD of all those movies. And there were some of my oldest nephew when he was just a baby.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty cool.
You should get them converted to MP4s.
Now that I could do myself.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You should do that just as a fail safe and get a memory stick that's got.
Well, I do have them on memory stick now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that's what I gave my brothers then when we got together. I had them all
Okay.
on
Sorry. I
memory
thought you
stick.
brought
Yeah,
them
yeah.
DVDs. Gotcha. Yes, I think that's a good idea, Auntie Joan. Back in the day, you would see in the movies where people would take video of them like reading their wills or something in a movie
Yeah.
and stuff. And that was always so weird. And now I'm like, do it. Like that's, you talking but that's the kind of things you got to think
Oh, that's
about.
a thought. That's a thought.
And being silly and, trying to make people laugh while you're telling them what they get, which ain't nothing. A percent of zero is still zero, folks.
If we play our cards right,
We
eh?
play our cards right. That's exactly correct. Die with nothing. There's the goal.
And and hope it doesn't all go to the nursing home. That's all.
right. That's right. Good topic, Auntie Joan.
Yeah. I gotta go. Whew. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now we're to the part of our program where we discuss what we are watching.
What you watching, Auntie?
Wow. This one's got me a little nervous. I'm not even going to lie. It's called the TikTok Star Murders, and I watched it on the Peacock.
Oh. And I watched it too.
Yes.
Did my homework.
Good job. I think it's okay that we have a small following.
You do?
Well, if this is what comes with fame, I don't want it because I think you're going to kill me.
Me? Kill you?
See? Hear it, folks? You hear the maniacal little laugh? Yes. I'm not worth anything yet. But once we get a better following,
You're
I'm
a landowner.
I'm a
crying
scared.
out loud.
I'm scared. Our demographic probably doesn't use the TikTok all that often. I have only watched TikTok videos that have been sent to me. I do not subscribe. But there was a TikTok creator out there. He went by the username Jin Kid, but his real name is Ali Abulaban. Sorry if I got that really bad.
I don't know.
And he did little shorts of dancing. He was a very good dancer, but he also did impersonations. And his one that he did the most was of Al Pacino from Scarface. Apparently, he really was a fan of the Scarface movie. So he did a lot of little clips from that and recreated them and, did the voice and all that wonderful stuff. Anywho, he gained major popularity on the TikTok and had millions of subscribers. And he met who became his wife, Anna. And she was from the Philippines, but they met in Hawaii when he was there, stationed there as part of the Navy, if I recall correctly. He did little time in the Navy. He got discharged, because he beat up somebody also in the Navy, and it must have been a pretty brutal beating. I don't think the person died, but it must have been a brutal enough beating that he was discharged. Didn't say dishonorably, though I would think it would be.
You would think so,
It
wouldn't you?
just said discharged on the papers that they flashed on the screen in this documentary, but because I looked for it specifically, like, well, that's got to be dishonorable discharge, but it just said discharged. Anywho, they end up getting married, and she's a very, very pretty Filipino woman, and she came to the States for a bit. She got pregnant, so they weren't married yet. She got pregnant. She went back to the Philippines. Then he was working on getting her over on, a spousal visa back to the U.S. And it took
90-Day Fiance, they could have been on there too.
See, there
Crying
you
out
go.
loud. Yeah.
Yeah. They're reality show people.
They didn't, but they could have.
Correct. So he finally got her and their child, this little girl, back into the States a couple of years thereafter. And they posted videos all the time together. And again, she was very pretty, dressed very provocatively, but she's also young, and I'm not young, so everything looks skimpy and provocative to me. I don't know. Boobs half hanging out, and
Yeah, you look provocative and skimpy dressed from my point of view.
oh,
At
God.
my age. Coming in with your little skirts on and things
my
like
skirts.
that. They look cute, by the way.
Why, thank you, Auntie Joan.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And she's got friends who all dress similarly, and they like to go out clubbing and things like that. And he apparently was a very jealous person. He was definitely trying to isolate her and keep her all to himself, and didn't really like that she had friends and things like that. Long story short, in October 2021, he kills her, and who is presumed to be somebody that she is involved with. She had already kicked him out. They had already, started the divorce proceedings and things like that. But it was also somebody that he had suspected was having an affair with his wife for quite a while. Who knows if that was actually true. It was likely that they were together there towards the end. Sorry if you just heard Killian reset himself by shaking, but that came through the microphone.
I didn't hear it.
He's laying down again. That's the most
He
excitement.
just wanted to be by his mom.
Exactly. He got nervous. He's like, "Oh, Mom's talking about murders." So Ali ends up killing Anna and this presumed person that Anna was sleeping with, or was her boyfriend, or whatever. And he was brought to justice. He ended up... Now, what was interesting was that we got the result of the trial as part of the documentary, which he was found convicted, but we were awaiting sentencing, and the sentencing was supposed to be like the first week of July, and this documentary came out like this towards the end of June, and I'm like, why couldn't you just wait another couple of weeks and include the sentencing as part of the documentary?
Yeah, who knows?
Because I'm not going to go look this up. I don't care. I mean, I'm glad he got convicted. I think he was deserving. He even started recording his abusiveness towards her. Not necessarily the hitting and things like that, which apparently he did, but the verbal abuse that he would, when they got into fights, he started recording it and actually posting it. And the crazy thing was his followers were chiming in, like calling her a bitch or, whatever. I'm like, what is happening? He's clearly an abusive person. People are... So, why it concerns me is that it seems that fame really went to this guy's head, although I think he was an asshole regardless of the fame or not. I just think the fame perpetuated it or exasperated it and gave him a platform to voice his insanity about his wife to his followers. And the fact that the followers can't apply basic common sense and see that this guy's just awful and started like taking his side and showing him support was like, what is wrong with... so many things are wrong with this world, but that just like, ew, ick. So I'm saying if Auntie Joan kills me, you guys, you have to stop friending her.
But I will take your support and your advice on how to handle and get through the grief.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? She can come off sympathetic, but she's a killer, folks. She's a
No,
killer.
I don't come across as sympathetic. Okay,
Your
first of
take.
all, I did not like his impressions at all.
Mm-hmm.
The Al Pacino, I mean, the first time I saw it, it was okay, but after that, it got so old so fast.
Sure.
And
He was a one-trick pony.
yeah, and I didn't think he was that good to make it a long-running thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was that one clip of him with Farrell, one of the comics from SNL back a few years ago. They had befriended him and were giving him advice, and everybody was telling him how good he was. Jay Farrell, I think his name was Farrell.
Not to be confused with
no,
Will
absolutely
Ferrell.
not. Absolutely
Just making
not.
that clear. My man had nothing to do with him.
Will went on to make a name for himself.
Yes,
Haven't heard from the other guy in a while, but anyway. But yeah, he was getting praised by all these people, telling him how great he was, and I just didn't get it. But hey, it's not my generation, it's not my thing.
Yes, I think if he stuck to the dancing things that he had done early on, that may have been better. He seemed like he was a really good dancer. Then he started doing the Al Pacino things, and then he started incorporating like the Al Pacino lines into his crazy. He was also doing apparently a shit ton of cocaine, which also Scarf is very prominent in Scarface. That's what they sell.
That's true.
So I think he was trying almost to become the character in Scarface.
I think so. And when he first started doing those videos, they said they would only show his wife's hand coming down in front of the camera. So when you saw her, it was just her hand because it was some character from some video game.
Oh yeah, I didn't understand it. So I think it was that Minecraft stuff.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I never played that. I don't know anything about it. I don't.
No.
It's been around for a long time though.
After Pac-Man, I mean,
right?
You just can't do better than that.
River Raid, Frogger. Atari games. That's all I know.
But once she started getting actually her whole person in front of the camera and started getting all these positive comments.
Yes.
Yeah, he started kind of turning a little bit.
Yes, she started getting more attention than him. And he did not like it.
No. I thought he was a jerk. Like you said, she was dressed provocatively and enjoyed the clubbing. And I really don't want to judge anyone, so I'll let you do that. But it's just hard for me to equate being a clubbing, very provocatively dressed woman and being a good mother. I know they shouldn't go hand in hand. I believe you can be a prostitute and still be a good mother. It's just, I don't know. Maybe that's what the documentary was supposed to show was, I don't know.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
I know. And I feel bad even mentioning it, but well, she did look kind of cheap.
She did.
Beautiful,
yes.
but cheap.
I don't think because her face was so pretty and she had a nice body as well.
Yeah.
I don't think she needed to do those things. For whatever reason, she felt like she did need to do those things. I don't quite get it. It's like when you're that pretty, you could wear a freaking burlap sack and people will still be looking at you.
I think younger people today will say, well, I mean, if I looked like that, I'd show it all off too. That wasn't my upbringing. I mean, I was raised a good Catholic girl. You needed to be a little modest and stuff like that.
Skirts below the knees, folks. Skirts below the knees.
Yes. That was even in public school, public high school. You'd get on your knees, and if your skirt didn't touch the floor, you had to go home and change. So that was public school. But we didn't do the 10 Commandments there.
No.
No.
Well, that's good. I mean, again, it's one of those, I can't say it's a thumbs up or thumbs down. I thought the documentary itself was done well. It's a very sad story. Like I said, scares the bejesus out of me as to what Auntie Joan's going to do when we get millions of followers.
Just don't worry your pretty little head.
Oh, see, I'm already scared. So,
look, Auntie, I got as much energy in me as a sloth on a hot day. So for me to make the trip
Nice
up to your
analogy.
house to take you out, I ain't gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Okay. We're a
Now
far
you, on the
cry.
other hand,
We're a far cry from 1 million plus followers, so I think I'm safe for a while at
I
least.
think we both are. Yeah, we gotta start doing some dance videos. You know what I mean?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I can only do the
Uh-huh.
electric slide. That's all I got.
I haven't been a good dancer since the jerk.
Auntie Joan was dancing for me,
Yeah,
folks.
yeah, yeah.
That just happened.
But I
Yeah.
didn't get out of my chair to do it.
No, she didn't.
Could I just talk about a documentary real quick that I watched?
Yeah.
It was on the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. My
No, never
guilty,
mind. No, you
yes,
can't.
my guilty pleasure.
Ew.
I have to, they did a very good job of making them seem like normal women.
Okay.
Yes. I didn't see one tattoo. And believe me, there was a lot there to see.
Well, they don't want it to get onto the porn screen and show that
No. See, they don't play them up like that.
they don't play them up like that. That doesn't mean they're not that.
No, and I think they should get paid a whole lot better than they are because, I don't know, for a while they were only getting like minimum wage. It was a big commitment. It is still a big commitment. Plus a lot of training. I mean, they're good dancers too. So anyway, not to digress.
Yeah.
And they're good mothers. Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back. Now we're on to the part of our program where we discuss commercials we have to talk about. Auntie Joan, what you got?
I got nothing.
Nothing. Uh-oh. We have a whole segment dedicated to this.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
No, Rezulti.
Mm.
The ad for depression medicine.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This has been bugging me for a long time.
Tell
You
me
got
why.
You got somebody going to family functions and visiting with friends, and they got a big, sad, upside down smile on their face, and they're holding a popsicle stick with a piece of cardboard on it and a smiley face.
A
Now,
frowny face.
No, the thing they're holding up is a smiley face. They're going with a
because they're
frowny face.
pretending to be happy. They're
Yes.
hiding that they're
Yes.
really sad by using the popsicle stick smiley face, saying, I'm
Yes.
okay, when in actuality, they are not okay.
Exactly.
That Rezulti, I tell you what, they're geniuses. Go ahead.
You think so?
No.
Oh, darn. I thought we were going to have our own debate here.
No.
I'm definitely not downplaying depression.
No.
I think it's, something so many of us grew up with and deal with on a daily basis. If you're getting help, more power to you. But don't put on a stupid smiley face like that. It's just dumb advertising as far as I'm concerned. Couldn't they come up with something better? It's like, well, we can't think of anything else, so here, stick a smiley face on her.
The budget was low.
I think it was.
I mean, honestly, considering the popsicle stick in the picture I'm looking at, the budget was very low.
Yes, I will agree with you on that one.
When these pharmaceutical companies are making gajillions
Oh
dollars,
my gosh, yes.
they can't afford better than a popsicle stick.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You preach, sister.
I tell you what.
No, and they've had different variations of that too. And it's still the same thing, the smiley face and just going through life, just barely making it through one day to the next, but put on that smiley face and
That's right.
you'll get through it.
That's right.
No. Come up with something better, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this commercial has bugged me for a while as well.
Oh,
I agree.
good.
I think the low budget popsicle stick really sends it over the edge for me. Like, come Come on. Again, same. If you have depression and you're getting the help you need and you're using the drugs to help you get through the depression, that's great. I think it's something that people have to do for themselves. But this commercial is just it's insulting, quite frankly.
Yes, that says it succinctly.
Yeah.
And they didn't even opt for a big star, like Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Maybe if we say his name enough times, we'll get him
He'll
on
appear.
as a
He's
guest.
like Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa. He's not here.
Yeah.
Boo.
We just might get an email from
Jason
his manager.
Momoa.
Yeah. I bet he'd be a fun guest.
He would be a fantastic guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
I even have a spare room. He could stay here.
I don't.
Oh, but it's your
Even
room.
better.
Yes, it's your room, though.
But
you
I don't
might
have
to
a
share
spare
it.
room, so he should stay here.
But what would Killian say?
Too bad he's out. Love you, baby boy, but not when Jason Momoa is around.
We got to stop talking like we're youngsters in our 40s.
What do you always say, Auntie Joan?
Just because there's snow on the rooftop doesn't mean the fire's out in the furnace.
That's right.
Oh, Martin Mull died. You don't know who Martin Mull is?
Oh, I do.
Yes.
That's sad.
I know.
The last thing I saw him in, he played a character on Veep, and he was a deranged ex-senator or something. No, he wasn't a senator. He was like a campaigning guy, like campaign manager, but like higher than that. I don't remember. But yeah, and he was a lunatic, and it was awesome. And he gave them such bad advice, and they all followed it because he had this great reputation.
Oh,
and then they started realizing that he was batshit insane, and it was very funny. And Martin Mull did such a great job.
Oh yeah, See, I fell in love with Martin Mull in the 70s, of course, with Fernwood Tonight.
Never heard
and our number one fan, Sandy B.
Sandy B.
Sandy B. She knows exactly what I'm talking about because she and I and our friend Dan would always get together in the morning at work and talk about Fernwood Tonight. And it's on YouTube. You can see it on YouTube, folks. Okay. It's ridiculous.
All right, Auntie Joan. Anything else on Rezulti?
No.
No? Anything else you want to talk to our listener about today?
I don't think so, do I?
I don't know, do you?
I don't think so. I think I'm spent.
Are you spent? Like a dollar bill, son?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, then. Well, sounds like we are a wrap for yet another wonderful, amazing, tremendous pickled watermelon rinds episode. This is Auntie signing off.
And Auntie Joan saying bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. We thank you for listening. And remember, when life eats away at your core, make pickled watermelon rinds.